Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Successful Showgirl. My name is Kitty and I am the coach and mentor for this group. So if you have just joined, this group is all about transforming amateur performers into business savvy paid professional performers. So whether you're performing yet or whether you're already performing and just wanting to boost your revenue, get better jobs, apply for better paid jobs, etc., then that's what we're here for. So if you're watching on YouTube as well, please like or subscribe to the YouTube channel and then you'll get notifications every Monday when I post our tutorials on there. So today we're talking about common mistakes that people make when applying for jobs. So a couple of weeks ago we had a challenge in the group and I gave you the task of, oh hi Tracy, I gave you the task of writing a CV, and you had to write a bio as well, and then you had to apply for a fake job, and people had to apply for the casting that I'd put up in the group, and they emailed me, and then I would respond with feedback about that job. And there was a really common theme of the same mistakes pretty much going on, running through. I mean, they were really good job applications and really good CVs, but there were just a few tweaks that people needed to make. So I'm going to run through those today. Little common things that I see all the time when people apply for jobs. So my number one huge thing when people apply for jobs with me is make sure you sell yourself in the body of your email. Please don't just put to Kitty or dear Kitty, I'd like to apply for the job. Here's all my stuff. Here's all my footage and my pictures. Thanks. Like, I want to know about you. If I've never met you before, I want to know what you're good at. I want to hear a little bit about you. And that was the whole point in us writing those bios that week. So if you've not wrote the bio, you can go back through the YouTube videos and there's the video is up there on how to write a really good bio. But if you've written a bio and you've got it saved like I recommended, use your bio in the body of your email. I never look at people's CV, and I know most people don't look at people's CVs either, so I always attach a CV. But if I'm applying for a job, I always put, hi, I'm Kitty, I'm a professional burlesque performer, I'm UK based, I work all over the place, I'm a giant martini glass performer with my own prop, I drive, blah, 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 blah. And I make sure that that person knows exactly who I am and exactly what I do before I list my acts, before I talk about footage or pictures or what I charge. I make sure they have like an overall thing about me and why I'm the best fit for that job. So that was the biggie that was missing from everyone's job application. Everybody had all the things that I told you to do. So they had the subject line that I'd asked people to put. They had all the stuff like pictures, footage, fees, at list, but nobody sold themselves in the body of the email, and that is what is gonna get you booked. Okay, so that is my huge piece of advice. If you take nothing away from this tutorial today, it would be within the first few sentences to tell people about you and sell yourself. Okay, so that would be number one for me. These other things are all like really little things, but that is the biggie for me, the most common mistake that I see. Next one is not using an email address that corresponds to you as a performer. So what I mean by that is if you have a stage name, using your normal person name email address, one, it looks professional, and two, if I want to go back and search for you in the future, so I might not cast you in this casting this time, but I might think, oh, that girl, she's got a martini glass, wonder what she was called again, Kitty Campari, right, I'll look for her, and I've used my real name as my email address. They're not going to be able to find me, yeah, and nobody's going to bother as a producer or as an agent. You're busy, you're not going to bother searching for somebody. So make it as easy as possible for people to find you and search for you. So use an email address in your performer name or in your business name, or make it very, very clear that it's you, okay? So don't use email addresses that don't correspond to exactly who you are. Next one would be applying in the manner requested. So that might seem super obvious, but whenever you put a casting out on Facebook, I can guarantee if you've put email me, people will send you direct messages, or people will, the laziest thing ever is people just commenting on a job application saying, I'm available. So what? I don't know anything about you. You've not told me who you are. You've not told me what your fees are, what your act lists are. You've not bothered to send me any footage. If you're not bothered to send the stuff that I'm asking for in the way that I've asked for it, I'm not going to cast you, because I'm going to think, well, you're not going to be bothered to do anything else properly. So that is a huge one for me as well. And I know I can 100% guarantee that every single producer and agent will say the exact same thing. There is nothing more irritating than when you ask to be DM'd and someone wants to email you, or you ask to be emailed and someone DMs you, and worst of all is commenting, just saying, I'm available. I will always put on somebody's post, I'm available, will email you now, so that they know the email's coming. And I always put a picture of myself as well, so that I stand out and people can see what I've got to offer and they're waiting for that email. But I don't just comment available and then not send anything. That is just pure laziness, in my personal opinion. Okay. Next one would be not attaching the relevant stuff. So for me, it's a given that you need to send your footage and you need to send pictures of your act. If you don't do that, you're just not going to stand out in comparison to the professionals that are doing that. So when you apply for a job, you've got to remember that there's lots of other people applying for that exact same job as well. So if they've attached all stuff like their pictures, their fees, their act list, they've sold themselves, if you don't do those things, then you're going to be bottom of the pile. No matter how good your act is, if the person that you're sending it to doesn't know that, because they've not seen it and you've not made it clear, then it's irrelevant. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're sending pictures, the best pictures that you've got of your act, whether that you'd be just starting out and they're just pictures of you practicing, or if you've been on stage, send your pictures of you on stage. If you're thinking about doing this professionally, get yourself some professional pictures done. Okay, there's lots of different levels that you can get pictures and footage at. So you can have pictures at home, pictures in a studio. Then next level would be pictures done by a photographer. Next level obviously would be pictures of you on stage. Okay, often videos can be rehearsal footage. Fanny is totally right, but I would say you've also got to remember it's going to be the level of job that you're going for. So if you're going for some super swanky corporate event with only rehearsal footage, you're probably not going to get it. But if you're going for like a burlesque show, let's say, or a small burlesque show, then yeah, you can use rehearsal footage. So you've got to consider, if you're wanting the big, well-paid jobs, from speaking to the people who are already performing now but want to step their game up, if you're wanting those better paid jobs, then obviously you've got to provide better paid, better footage, better pictures in better venues with better costumes. You get paid what you're offering, so you've got to offer the best to receive the best back. Okay, but as well, if you're just starting out, if you've not got an amazing super expensive costume and you've not got professional pictures and you've not got footage on a stage, it doesn't matter, because you can still go in for those newbie jobs with footage that is rehearsal footage, pictures that you've taken and adjusted on Canva, costumes that you've made yourselves. Okay, so there is a level for everyone. Don't think that you've got to have the best of the best just to get in there. You've just got to apply accordingly and then build on that. So when you get your footage from the lower paid jobs, then you can then use that to get the higher paid jobs. That's how I did it. Okay, my next one. So as well, I wanted to say about that, when you're attaching stuff, make sure you attach it in the relevant way. So don't use collages, because if you're applying for like agency jobs and they're sending them to clients, they're not going to want to use a collage. So make sure your pictures are individual pictures, and producers are saying to me now, Google Docs folders are the best for them, because then they can save them and keep them on file. Make sure you save it in your name and what they are. So I would save mine as Kitty Campari promo pictures, and then when I send that off to an agent, they just save that, they've got it, and then they can forward it on to a client. I'm not going to send loads of individual pictures, because then that can flag up in spam and you can end up your email not going through. It can end up in people's spam email, because if you've got too many attachments going on in an email now, spam will pick it up and it'll go to the spam folder, so just be aware of that as well. And when you're attaching your videos, obviously they're long, so I always send a YouTube link. So all my videos are on YouTube, not for the public to see. I just have them as unlisted. You can't find them unless I send you the link. So I can send a producer an unlisted video of me doing a performance. No one else can see that except for the person that I've sent it to. All right, and they can also forward that onto a client as well. If you do the other one, I can't remember what the other one is. There's one up from that, but then they can't send the link on to a client, so I would just be aware of that. Then my other bugbear, massive bugbear, is not using the person's name when you know who they are. So like I've said before, if I put a casting up, obviously it's come from me because it's in my name, and it'll be for Successful Showgirl, it'll be for Paparazzi Entertainments or whatever, and people will just put Dear Sir or Dear Madam or Dear Paparazzi Entertainment, when they know full well the advert's from me. So just use my name. Like, I would use somebody else's name. I would take the time to find out who the person is who's putting that casting on, and I would use their name. That is just basic social skills, I think. It's nothing to do with job applications. I just think you should refer to someone by name. It's just communication skills, isn't it? So definitely make sure you're finding out who's behind the thing that you're sending and you're using their name. Then it doesn't look like you've just sent like a blanket application to everybody. And then my last one would be being too formal or too informal. So I know it's hard to get the gist of where you are, but if someone I know is emailing me about a job and they make it really formal, it makes me feel really awkward, because I think, why didn't they just like email me in a normal way? However, when someone I don't know emails me and it's super informal, they don't like speak in a professional way, that annoys me as well. So maybe I'm just a really angry person, I don't know. But I just think you've got to gauge, just like you do in real life. You know the way you speak to people in real life, don't you? You know what's appropriate to say to a friend and what's appropriate to say to someone that you don't know. So really think about how you word in your emails, like, Dear Kitty, I want to apply for your job, blah, blah, blah. This is how amazing I am. Here's my footage as a YouTube link. Here's my Google Docs folder of all my pictures and stuff. These are my fees. This is my act list. So this is what I can offer you, so that I know exactly what you're offering. And anything else that you want to say. So I drive, I can do this, I can do that, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, sign it off properly. Like, I always say something like, I really look forward to hearing from you, or I really look forward to working with you in the future. Kind regards, Kitty. Yeah, that is a perfectly reasonable way of signing off. But putting just thanks is just like, I don't know, I just don't think it's professional. So maybe it's just me, I don't know, but they will be my advice tips. I can only give you tips from my point of view as somebody who books people, or somebody who employs dance teachers, etc. And they're the little things that get on my nerves when someone sends me a job application. So make sure you've got a super clear email that is in your performer name if you've got a different name. If not, make sure it's not something like, I don't know, you get things like Bumblebee123, and that's nothing to do with your performer name. So don't use stuff like that. Make sure you've got like a corresponding email address. Make sure that you're replying in the manner requested. If they say DM, DM. If they say email, email. Don't be lazy and just comment, because you're not going to get that job, I can promise you. Make sure you're selling yourself. Put a little bit of your bio in the first bit, so I know who you are, what you're doing, what you can offer. Make sure you attach footage, YouTube links, Vimeo links, pictures as a Google Docs folder, ideally, fees with your act list, and then use the person's name and speak to them in the appropriate manner. Okay, so they will be my big tips for applying for jobs. So I hope that was helpful. If anyone's got any questions, please let me know. If you want further help with that, obviously we have a membership where we've got in-depth talks. We've got a talk from a producer who goes into really great detail on what they expect people to send them. We also do one-to-ones, etc. So if that's something that would help you, then get in touch. Otherwise, like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, because these will go onto the YouTube channel every Monday and you can get loads of tips and tricks there. So happy Monday, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy your week, smash your goals, and I'll see you all next week.